project where we kind of ran out of everything for to do anything. I'm who gives a shit. Let's just go with this.
I am masked.
We
I don't
kind of
give a shit.
There's a deadly laser right behind me.
Oh yeah.
ran.
I thought we were supposed to get a new season of like the sun is a deadly laser until like later
You know,
on.
that usually doesn't happen till May. It's March. We're fucking getting this.
Yeah, somebody I don't care enough to even put up acknowledge who it is. They just say who even cares. Ugh.
I mean,
Who cares? Who cares? The weather machine is broken right now. Someone fix it.
mhm. It is a scenario of K followed by sure, and then
I mean, I could go over to Spot Track and go over to the NFL, go to free agents and be like, oh, why don't I pull up one of your guys' teams and see who signed with you guys? And you could be like, wowzers, that guy is a steal. And we could look at people who you didn't sign. That way you could be like, wowzers, those guys overpaid.
I mean it's honestly so weird because the first two the first 2 days of free agency were like, wow, there's a lot of stuff here, and then it just stopped.
Well, I mean, to be honest, my team practically did nothing. I mean,
There's really not much to really say outside of like, what happened between the Raiders and the Ravens. That's already been talked
Crosby.
about.
Oh wow. Yeah, the Vikings made the following signings. Two of them re-signings. Safety Tavier Thomas comes back on a 2-year deal worth $2.3 million a year. Long snapper Andrew DePaula is here for another year, $1.725 million. Cornerback James Pierre comes from the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2 years at $4.25 million. And the big one, or should I say the little one, ha 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 ha. Kyler Murray comes over on a 1-year deal, and the Vikings are only responsible for league minimum $1.3 million. Yeah, I gotta be completely honest. As much disinterest as I'm showing right now,
You really need to do is you need to give JJ McCarthy all the competition in the world.
yeah.
And Kyler Murray is experienced enough. He does have this style of fuck it, I'm gonna throw the ball very far because somebody is down there somewhere. Somebody's bound to catch it,
And I honestly think he's on a really good team for that between Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
And I think the best part, because my grand awakening this year is I'm going to consider a lot of where you go really, 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 really matters. Arizona is in the bottom 5 of the worst organizations.
Yeah. Can I real quick regale you guys in how the Arizona Cardinals ranked on this year's NFLPA report cards?
Bottom of the barrel. That's per use.
Treatment of families, D+. Home game field, B. Food and dining area, C-. Nutritionist and dietitian, B. Locker room, F-. Training room, D+. Training staff, B-. Weight room, D+. Strength coaches, B-. Position coaches, B+. Offensive coordinator, B-. Special teams coordinator, C+. Special teams coordinator, B. Team travel, C+. Head coach, B+. General manager, E. Team ownership, F. Overall rank, 31st out of 32. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize this, but the Cardinals are kind of poverty. Although, really, it should have been obvious from their first NFLPA report card, where it was revealed that they make their players pay for meals on site. Like, that's always a bit of a red flag when you've got a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Like, you can't give your players a little. What are we doing here? I also suspect that's kind of why we got Byron Murphy as cheap as we did, because he did come from the Arizona Cardinals, and he went to a I'm gonna say it, rather state-of-the-art team in the Vikings.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to say this over and over again. There's an excellent video done by somebody that recaps the entire history of one Arizona Cardinal. And this shit is, without a doubt, the most depressing thing I've ever seen. It really does show me, especially when you really do have these awakenings now, there are 5 organizations that, in my mind, aren't really worth a damn. You know, they get the big old K out of me, you know?
For reference, that's a few letter grades lower than F. That's how bad it is.
The bottom 5, we'll go over this quickly. I think the worst organization in football is the Cleveland Browns. That shouldn't surprise nobody. The Cleveland Browns are the worst organization in all of football. They are an organization that does not care, that will not care. Well, they do things so way that they're so bad, that are bad. They haven't figured out this thing called a franchise QB, and they've tried so many times. They had it and decided it's a sex offender. Interesting choice. Would it be me? So, you know, interesting choice.
It's certainly not the choice I would have made, personally.
It's the choice that Jimmy Haslam would make.
Haslam is... Every decision that Haslam has made on these guys have been putrid. It's been bad. It's gone from bad to worse. They decided to go with the sex offender at quarterback rather than the guy that they went 0-16 for, which, you go 0. There's those things where there's kind of reasons to go 0-16. Then Browns went 0-16 for no reason. Baker Mayfield's out. They had the easy excuse ever in the fact that, hey, guys, it's a crazy thing. You should just say, injuries. injuries. You have the easy excuse of all time. Injuries, guys. No, they don't go for injuries. They go with the. They go with the whole. You know. We need an adult in the room. Oh, you did. You did get an adult. It's got a criminal record.
You know what it is? They wanted somebody who was tried as an adult.
Oh, right. My bad. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Tried as an adult. My bad. That's right. That's important. And instead of, you know, relying on, because everybody's down years, and I think that's the thing that's going to be always their jumping the shark moment. That is always going to be the jumping the shark moment. That will be their forever jumping the shark moment.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Exactly. Why would they do that?
Are
Why
they
would you do
stupid?
something incredibly stupid?
Multiple firsts, too.
Oh yeah, multiple
firsts.
firsts. If it wasn't for CJ Stroud falling off a mat, this would...
I'm selecting that CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Too good
player
to give up.
So one of those players is the Browns.
Number 31, I have the Jets. This seems a
a very obvious choice, some might say.
Here's your chance to shape your destiny.
It is the obvious one. Here's the thing. If you're the owner, I would expect you to make sure your kids are ever going to walk up to the players and go, "Hey, bro, I saw your Mad rating. You're trash." You know?
Yeah, really...
Making decisions because your kid said they're good on Madden. That doesn't even begin.
I've heard worse excuses.
You know. Right, and that doesn't even. We're not even scraping the surface of this one. That is the worst excuse I've ever heard of. You know, the owner that says, "Hey, we shouldn't be publicizing this list."
Yeah, we don't really like using this word all that much, but I really think there's no beating around the bush here. That was retarded by Woody Johnson.
It is dumb. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers, but still could be serviceable. Still could be serviceable as a player. Lots of evidence that he could still be serviceable. And look at his career versus the Saints and the Jets. Saints, he's passable. His year of the Steelers was night and day for what you expect a 40-year-old quarterback to do versus when he was on the Jets. He was so like that's the level that we're at here. I imagine Zach Wilson could be successful elsewhere. They got Sam Darnold. Then Sam Darnold was infinitely more successmeral. Shocker. Somewhere else. And, I mean, the joke is, you're just gonna wait for the Jets to draft a QB, then you'll just sign them, you'll just re-sign them, and boom, franchise QB. This should never be the case, man.
It's like walking, but better.
So, you know, it is a kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Kind of a joke organization of the Jets. I mean, you don't get the butt fumble. You don't be called the butt fumble and expect to be good. You know?
Yeah, definitely not their proudest moment.
Not their best, not the Browns' best moment.
Or the Jets, for that matter.
Yeah.
said the Browns by mistake.
So, you know what they say. For that, you know, you look at this and, I mean, the conclusion I have for it is, this is who the Browns are. This is the Jets. I would do everything in my. There's a reason why you could look at why Dante Moore was like, nah, I'm good, fam. I don't want to go play for the Jets.
I mean, you know, they're
Colin Cowherd, we're good, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Arvo Reese is like, you know, I'm not exactly great at MetLife. You don't have to select me.
Yeah, like literally, you've got guys that you do not want to go to the Jets. I don't want to be a Jet. No one wants to. The Jets are the one team no one wants to go to, for good reason. For good reason, no one wants to go sign with the Jets. And it's all understandable. So, yeah, there you go. There's 31. 30 to Cincinnati Bengals. Purely because we are in a year, Lord of our Savior, 2026. If you have a competitive team, you are going all in on the salary cap. His sheer refusal to spend the fullness of the salary cap is an embarrassment. It's not only like probably one of the biggest indictments you can get. It's the biggest embarrassing thing as your organization. Joe Burrow should not have to do what he does on a weekly basis, because what he has to do is carry a team when the owner's like, nah, I'm good.
It really is embarrassing, you know.
Your unwillingness to pay players, and then what this causes, because you realize you're probably the people around you is like, hey, look, dude, you don't spend on any of us. Do you not know how screwed you are if your willingness to not spend on anything? You know how screwed we are? To say, no, we're not going to spend when the time is right, because you know what this does? It snowballs your contracts. And just because of it, of like the contracts that have just snowballed out of control, they could have been paying and should have been paying. A wide receiver crew could be worth around $60 million. But because they're so bad and wait to the last minute, you're paying T. Higgins over $30 million. You're paying Jamar Chase around $40 million. Like, what the fuck is this? Look at what they're having to pay for this shit. They're waiting so long and realize that, oh shit, now we need to sign these guys, and then you actually end up overpaying them and driving the market up for everybody else. They're unbelievably stupid.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
They shouldn't be a bottom-feeding organization, because this is an organization that, you know, they're one of the AFC teams that represented the AFC in the Super Bowl. Of all stupid things. So, yeah, 30. Once Joe Burrow's gone, this organization is never going to feel like a championship organization. Ever. They're never going to feel it. So, you know, there's that. 29 Carolina Panthers. When your owner is as meddlesome as he is, the Carolina Panthers were a semi-respected organization to an organization that, I mean, I think we're gonna, am I wrong to say they're gonna go for a modern day Jameis Winston? Am I wrong for saying that?
I think you are.
Well, no, because he's not gonna like. Bryce Young isn't, not the personality or the disgusting shit that was Jameis Winston or the Aura. But what I mean is Jameis Winston S, which is a team that traded up, put a lot of assets to pick number 1 overall, and they're going to be justifying that Bryce Young is they're going to be their QB for like at least another 2 years. They're going to go down the ship with him. And my curious thing is I wonder how he would be if he was selected elsewhere. Or he goes somewhere else, because I think there's stuff that's there, but I don't know if Carolina's the team that can unlock said ability, you know? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be drafted by Carolina. I mean, they might be going up. They're a team that's probably going to trend up, but right now Carolina. I mean, how many times have they won the South this year by merely existing? So, yeah. Is that, who the hell do I have it? The 5th worst organization in an organization I would say no to.
Cardinals?
I already said the Cardinals.
I don't think you said the Cardinals.
No, they were
You
32.
No, you had the Browns at 32.
No, I had the Cardinals at 32, the Browns at 31.
Oh.
Okay, then Jets at 30, 29 Bengals, 28 Panthers. That is 5.
Oh, it is 5. Oh, did I not say the card?
Yeah, you couldn't say the Cardinals.
No, we did say the Cardinals. Well, yeah, bottom 5. Those are the organizations to where whenever I see a rookie quarterback go there, I'm gonna wonder where else they could succeed. Honorable mentions are the Dolphins. Stephen Ross is a fucking dumbass, and they haven't won a playoff game in many years. Bears, but they have a green circle pointing up. They're trending, which means the Bears are trending up. They're not.
I will say though, regarding the Arizona Cardinals, I will say this is just something I'm gonna save for future reference, but it will be extremely funny, very, 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 very funny if Kyler Murray succeeds in Minnesota, because he's a Vikings fan. He grew up a Vikings fan, and it would prove my theory that he hates the Arizona Cardinals because he probably watched that Vikings-Cardinals game when he was a child.
Oh yeah, you know what else? He also saw them waste the career of Minnesota local Larry Fitzgerald.
True.
Like, my genuine thing with the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray is I genuinely think Kyler Murray can succeed in Minnesota. If I were there's a couple of takes that I was gonna have. I think a lot of them would have been over by, I don't know, I forget a lot of them. But if I were to have a take for the takeoffs, Kyler Murray becomes the Minnesota Vikings Week 1 starting quarterback. I think he's got the potential to outduel JJ McCarthy. I think he's in a significantly much better organization than the Cardinals. I think you go from bottom 5 to top 10.
Need I remind you that of the NFLPA report card, the Vikings have the second best organization on this thing.
It's more of your coaching staff is good. The only thing that the Vikings are missing is the hardware.
Yeah, but that's been an issue since 1961.
Exactly. So I think Kyler Murray's significantly, and he's in a better place. He's in a better organization, better coaching. I mean, I'm not so high on Jonathan. It feels like, especially when Jonathan Gannon is out of there, that says a lot. Especially with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, I think he's like. There's a reason why he left the Commanders, right?
He's
Yeah.
out. He's not with Washington now.
So
I think they mutually split ways. is
my
what it is.
theory. My theory is that Cliff Kingsbury is a very static head coach, and once you figure him out, you figured it out, you know?
Today your actions can.
Yeah, I do think it says a lot though about Arizona that their coaching search was going so poorly that it really justified or gave reasoning to the reports about why the Cardinals were very close to keeping Jonathan Gannon for another year because their coaching search went very poorly.
Yeah, they got
Need a
Mike
dragon?
LaFleur and Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive think tank.
I could buy something.
Yeah, I mean, what else do we like? Am I surprised? Arizona, bottom 5 organization. I'm really looking forward to seeing Kyler Murray succeed. And
Yeah, it really makes you think. Maybe Josh Rosen was in the shittiest situation of all time.
I think I would not be wrong to say that because remember the Arizona Cardinals traded up to get Josh Rosen, and Josh Rosen had those late season wins that are like, man, there was something there.
You see, a good organization builds on that. The Cardinals, with the first overall, selected Kyler Murray.
This should have been one where you ride or die with your boys, man. You ride or die.
Also, I'm just gonna say it. Outside of, outside of the last year of Larry Fitzgerald and, DeAndre Hopkins having that 1 year, legitimately, who did the Cardinals have in that receiving room that was any good?
Outside of in the receiving room because we're wide receivers, we're not counting Trey McBride because Trey McBride's pretty good, but outside of McBride, is an interesting question.
Excellent grade.
Guys, fucking, you don't get it, bro. The dragon is like a foul-smelling pulp that used to be, the foul-smelling pulp that used to be AJ Green is gonna be so good, you guys.
Yeah, the disconnected controller. You know, I still remember that play. That play was wild. I don't know. I mean, the way how I see it, I'm glad Arizona's in my division because I know, well, hopefully now, at least, they're gonna be not so great for a while.
Here's a guy worth remembering. Remember when people thought Greg Dort was gonna be a thing?
Remember how they picked what's his face as a
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison
and then he
Jr.
proceeded to
and
do
he's been
nothing.
not good. It's been good.
I mean, what's the real? If anyone's investing stocks in terms of the Sam Darnold exchange, we might as well call it, of who will benefit the most when they leave their original team. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a very good bet right now.
Yeah, but I don't know. The receivers are weird. Keep in mind, Marvin Harrison Jr. could be the first receiver to ever go from. I used to be on the Cardinals to superstar. I haven't seen it, you know. I haven't because normally with a player like DeAndre Hopkins, for as bad as the Texans were appalling. Nuke Hopkins was Nuke Hopkins the entire time. where Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't been Marvin Harrison Jr., you know? Like, he's been such a letdown.
Yeah. He's sort of like the theme of the thumbnail.
We gave up. Like, the tiles and everything.
Meanwhile, on the relinquishing part, the Minnesota Vikings have let go of defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. He goes to the Bengals, 2 years at $13 million a year. Wide receiver Jalen Naylor receives a $35 million contract for 3 years to go to Vegas. Defensive tackle Javon Hargrave goes to the Green Bay Packers for $11.5 million a year, 2 years. Punter Ryan Wright off to Who Dat Nation, 4 years, $3.5 million a year. And then Ben Sims. Oh no.
I mean, in short, I'm really curious to see. Maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. just needs a change of scenery. Who knows? But I'm looking for him to step up since
You're looking to survive.
I am
he
curious.
This
was.
is the right place.
Since he was you know, drafted, and especially since he was, you know, son.
Right. I do wonder if what the move is for the Minnesota Vikings to do at center now that Ryan Kelly has retired. Because this isn't a very good draft for inside O linemen.
I mean,
so I wonder.
with how free agency just seems to just slow down to a fucking halt. This free agency class, not good.
I mean, there are some good centers still available in the market. If you don't mind me reading off a few names.
Go for it.
We got Lloyd Cushenberry from the Titans, James Daniels from the Dolphins, Graham Glasgow from the Lions, Ethan Pochik from the Cleveland Browns, Evan Brown from the Cardinals, Ryan Bates from the Bears, Austin Corbett from the Panthers, Danny Pinter from the Colts, Dan Feeney from the Buccaneers, Sam Mustipher from the Broncos, Andre James from the Chargers, Brock Hoffman from the Cowboys, and Ryan McCollum from the Steelers.
So it's kind of cheap football. Yeah, so I mean, from what I'm hearing, it's a lot.
I can't believe I did.
Yeah, it's not a terrible time to maybe pick up a free agent center or something. I'm assuming you want to see, you know, what the Seahawks did. You know, ooh. They did stuff.
You signed a guy.
2 guys.
Kept Shaheed.
We kept Shiki. Well, I'm talking like free agent moves. People not on the Seahawks. It took us till like Thursday to sign the
Emmanuel
safety out of
Wilson.
Indianapolis.
You did sign another one. Running back Emmanuel Wilson comes over from the Green Bay Packers on a 1-year deal. You did relinquish 5 guys. Boye Mafe goes to the Bengals, 3 years for $20 million a year. Kenneth Walker, the third running back, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs for $14 million a year on a 3-year deal.
I would have paid $14 million a year for K9, but I guess we've decided, hey, you know what? Why don't we, you know?
This is a great read.
Why don't we,
Why don't
see
we
what Charbonnet
not,
has?
triple stacks. I think
Yeah.
you
Why don't
guys
we
are.
not?
Also, Kobe Bryant heads over to
Kobe
the
Bryant was
Bears.
a sad one. I don't think we're ever going to re-sign him.
3
Yeah.
years, total deal worth $40 million. Tariq Woolen goes to the Eagles, and Derek Young goes to the Raiders. And meanwhile, Cody White and Chaz Surratt are still, up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, especially when we look at with the Seahawks, I think they're playing their salary cap with the long game. I think they've got other priorities right now, and those priorities are extending Dalvin Witherspoon and JSN. And JSN has given us the first idea, which is he wants to be the highest paid wide receiver. So, early
Dramatic, stylish
early
sidewalk.
initially right now it's not looking too hot. Seeing as how I think this we could have done a little more, but with how I mean, right now with JSN, it's the extension. His number, he wants to be the highest paid, so my optimism for hopefully it's 30. You do 35 by 5, and you throw in a bunch of guarantees to keep him around because he is really, really good. But right now, that initial number,
Gotta be a lot.
initial number being the highest paid, which is north of 40 million, it's not a good start. Not a good start.
Yeah. I will say some of it might be influenced by the fact that you guys are getting new ownership soon.
That's the sad thing of all is I'm gonna go in with gonna lower my expectations probably quite a bit if it does come to the point where the Seahawks are sold, because the Allen family, they saved the Seahawks. They made this team competitive, and they respected this team. They respected what would needed to be done by being, hands off, right? They were respectfully hands off. They made decisions with the best in mind. They trusted Pete and John Schneider
Best part of the story.
to do well. And to go away from that, and it's like, oh my god, Jeff Bezos or this person. I mean, I just hope whoever buys the Seahawks, there's a couple things. There's higher taxation stuff. You're in a democratic. Couple things to note: you are in a democratic a state controlled by the Democrats. The way to get into CenturyLink Field is an absolute nightmare.
It's not even connected to the link.
It is the worst stadium to get to in all of football. And my thing is, their stadium is 20 years old.
I disagree on the worst to get to.
No, it is the worst stadium to get to. There's no, public transit, sure. But even that, having to rely on public transit for the normal person is chaotic. Everybody says CenturyLink and T-Mobile Park are the worst to get to come game day. And
No. You want my take for what's the worst to get to? Jerry World. It has to be Jerry World.
I I don't think it is Jerry
So I
World.
thought you were gonna say MetLife because I've also heard a lot of things about MetLife.
Oh my
And
god, you're right, MetLife, because it stinks at a transit level, it stinks at a driving level. There were literally like complaints saying that they should never host the Super Bowl again because they bungled like every single asset of infrastructure.
the transit that night was horrible, and it's also happened. It happened with WrestleMania too. Like the transit was absolutely horrible. So like, yeah, MetLife is right up there. Probably, also probably in terms of just being uncomfortable, it's definitely the worst because well, you're going into New Jersey, and you're going near a swamp too. So like, because you're going into Meadowlands. So like, yeah, it's not good.
Not just a swamp, mind you. Everybody forgets this about the great swamps of East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's also likely an industrial landfill because that's kind of what they did with the land back in the 70s.
Yeah. I will say though for the Seahawks, I think a lot of the moves have been expected, especially on defense. Like a lot of teams were going to, pick away at, a defense as good as the Seahawks, and yeah, not surprised by this because this is what happens when teams win the Super Bowl. You have to pay a tax with how many teams want your guys. But with that being said, I do think the one move where I felt like, okay, I think the Seahawks could have matched that. I do think they could have brought K9 back, but I get the feeling that they're like, you know what, we can find someone, and we'll find someone to play in this system. So all that stuff.
Here's my thing of why I don't think they retained Kenneth Walker. I think their big thing is that I think their game is going to be a lot more tight end heavy. Is going to be the big thing.
Yeah, but keep in mind this is with the new OC and
yeah, like I could see you keeping it if Clint Kubiak was still running the show. Because Clint Kubiak, he'll have you seen those hydraulic press TikToks where they like stick random shit into a hydraulic press and like, oh man, it like either goons or it shatters like glass. That's what he does. That's what Clint Kubiak does to a running back on his roster. Yeah. Yeah. I think Brian Fleury. I wouldn't be surprised if he. Make sure I'm not talking out of my ass here. I wouldn't be surprised if he incorporates a lot more design plays to A.J. Barner in the upcoming year.
which
Yeah.
I'm down
I'm
for.
curious.
Darnold was good at what he does, and being a distributor is kind of been his strength, so
And I suppose with all that said, I think it's only natural that we progress on to the Bears.
Yeah. By the way, one last thing about the Seahawks. Apparently, I'm just making sure of this. They're keeping Jake Bobo, right?
yes,
Apparently,
they
they're keeping him.
I was surprised that we kept Bobo around.
Hey, that's Super Bowl champion Jake Bobo to you, baby.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. The fact that we kept Bobo, surprising as it is, I mean,
The dead are stirring in Midtown.
because he's okay.
Here's the
But I
thing,
thought,
though. Sicko icon.
I thought, because like my initial thinking was like,
As long as I can.
my initial thought process was, Bobo's good, but he's a depth piece, but unless his market was not there this year, then the It's like, you know, what's the harm in
Summoning.
what's the harm in keeping Bobo around, you know? There's no harm in keeping Bobo around, so let's keep Bobo
Yeah.
around. Good. We'll see what they do in the draft.
Keep fighting.
For the yeah, for the Bears.
I mean, obviously we got
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
We Bryant from the
I bet the kids at
Seahawks.
Blackguard
I
are
like
a
that
lot less shit
move.
now.
There's a lot more versatility to the secondary, versatility, speed, you know, all that stuff. And one big theme that's become very apparent with the Bears so far in free agency, they are completely overhauling the secondary, which I expected some of these guys to be gone, but I was not expecting a lot of, like, just about every free agent from the Bears secondary to not be coming back because, yeah, like basically all of them have signed elsewhere.
Yep. Kevin Byard to the Patriots, C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Bills, Nashawn Wright to the Jets, which I'm kind of sad to see as somebody who kind of saw that Nashawn Wright was having a good year. Quan Brisker to the Steelers, Jonathan Owens to the Colts. Meanwhile, in comes Neville Gallimore from the Indianapolis Colts. Cam Lewis from the Buffalo
You can't
Bills.
stop an advocate of the dead.
Khalif Raymond from the Detroit Lions. And Kentavious Street from the Atlanta Falcons, which I just think that sounds like a name from that Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah, yeah, it does. But yeah, I do think with the Bears secondary though, losing Byard sucks. Like that one definitely hurts. And if anyone was going to come back, I think I was expecting him to return. But I get that, you know, if he was going to go anywhere, I'm not surprised it's New England, considering his past history with Mike Vrabel. So not surprised by that. But still sucks to lose him. Like other guys like Brisker. Like, I'm not surprised to see Brisker go to the Steelers because he played at Penn State, so that's kind of, you know, homecoming for him. Right, I'm not surprised, though I will say I can see why the Jets signed him because he is fantastic at getting interceptions, and we know how badly they need interceptions, so I can see why they got right. And, yeah, it's like, you know, I'm not, like, guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Even though he did well for us, I'm not surprised by it. And they're very much overhauling this secondary, and I'm definitely expecting some people to get drafted because I know Poles loves going to the draft when it comes to the secondary, but like I don't know how much they are really going to do in terms of I know they're gonna have to do something, but I don't know how much exactly they're going to be doing. But that was not the only move. That was not the only move we made on defense, however. Because the other moves we made, we signed Devin Bush from the Cleveland Browns.
Huh. I wonder why it's not showing up on here.
But yeah,
Is
Devin
it
Bush.
official, but like not official.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's official. I don't know why it wouldn't be. I don't know why it's not showing up. But 3-year, $30 million deal, $10 million annual average, $21 million guarantee. I believe that there's something with the contract where the Bears are paying like a lot less in terms of the cap hit for this upcoming season. Because I looked at like the cap hits for like some of the moves that they had made like at the start of free agency, and yeah, that cap situation, for how many guys they're paying, they have a very good cap situation still. And granted, I really do like the Evan Bush signing because he's coming off a fantastic season with the Browns and a great Browns defense, and we needed someone to replace Tremaine Edmonds, who very much won me over last season, but we were not going to be like paying him like $17 million a year. So, and when we couldn't get the trade done, we just had to cut him, which he's now with the New York Giants now. So, got to get someone, and I'm very happy that we got Devin Bush at a very good contract. However, that was not the most talked about move that the Bears have done so far, because far and away the most talked about move is what the Bears have done at center. Not in terms of who they signed, but because of why they had to sign them.
Oh, I was gonna say, I certainly talked about that mostly because, like, of the guy you signed and my history with him.
Yeah, or traded in this case, I should say. But yeah, for those that have been living under a rock, Drew Dahlman, who was coming off a fantastic season in his first year with the Bears, suddenly announced his retirement. I wish him well. I know that the game of football is extremely brutal, and I do wish him well. And considering the money he got, I would hope he uses that money very wisely. But I do wish Drew Dahlman well. But after that, the Bears, well, they need a new center, and they would end up making the move of trading a 2027 fifth-round pick, Garrett Bradbury, from the Patriots. Which, you know, people were very underwhelmed because they wanted the Bears to, like, go after, like, you know, Ivor Linderbaum, which, considering how much money he got, I can see why they ended up going to Plan B, which Plan B turned out to be Garrett Bradbury.
I'm sorry. It's former Viking under center, by the way.
Yes, former Viking as well.
Oh my god. Knowing our luck, he'll probably ball the fuck out in the 2 games he plays against us. Like,
yeah. To be fair, from what I saw, like, from what I did see, like, even though that Patriots O-line ended up nearly killing Drake May in the playoffs, Garrett Bradbury did not seem that bad. And considering what the Bears are asking for, if he can just be like a serviceable center, like he just does what he has to do, Caleb doesn't get sacked and all of that, then I will more than take it, considering the circumstances of Drew Dahlman retiring. I'm just more wondering, like, what the full plan right now is for the Bears at the O-line, because we saw last season just how successful that O-line was, and I'm very curious as to what else Poles and Johnson are going to be doing this offseason for the O-line.
Yeah, you got a good to great center. I'm gonna be completely honest in saying that. Garrett Bradbury, he was good. He was a good center. He just never had the guards around him in Minnesota to get the job done. You know, like, I'm sorry, but like, you can, it's not really a good look when you have like when you have to surround yourself with like Ezra Cleveland and Ed Ingram on either side of you. Like, Ed Ingram, aka one of the worst offensive linemen I've ever seen on the 2020s Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. And granted, I think compared to the Vikings, compared to the Patriots too, like, he's definitely, in terms of guards around him, he's definitely upgrading, because, you know, you're going to an O-line with guys like Joe Thuney, Darnell Wright, Jonah Jackson, so there's a lot of good stuff to work with there.
Yeah, he's not exactly having to carry the interior O-line, which is good for him.
not to mention, like, I mentioned Joe Tooney because I know that he and Bradbury and Tooney both have a long history together, going back previously from before the NFL.
Fought off the court of the Hidden King, but they will return.
Discerning taste.
I mean, the way how I look at it right now is, I think this is going to be an eventful / really quiet off season. Purely because I think a lot of moves are gonna come on like quiet days in the month of the quiet days of May, June, July. I think there could be lots of moves done in May and March and April. I think the way how I see people going to be doing a lot of like light adding, just because unfortunately not a lot of GMs view this draft class as something that's going to be particularly helpful. As they've already seen, I'm just quite curious to see kind of what the big plan for most teams, because this feels like this is more like addition by subtraction. You wonder what teams are willing to make more of a chance on a veteran than a rookie, what people are willing to pay, a little bit of a higher number, or if they're willing to try reclamation projects over rookies.
Yeah, something that kind of surprised me, a lot of June 1st designations on players I saw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there will be a lot of those.
Holy shit! Did you see how much? Did you see how much the Titans paid Wandale Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they need help, and any kind of help is kind of needed.
$17.5 million a year, though.
I mean, you know what? I will say this.
The receiver market.
I will say this though. Every player that signs with the Titans needs to go bald. Show solidarity with the coaching staff.
Yeah, that's why I think they should sign 5 points bids.
True. By the way, speaking of the Titans, just because I think this would be interesting to talk about, the Titans revealed new uniforms yesterday.
Oh shoot! Did they now? You know what that means? I gotta send pictures of those to old Mom Sausage and see how she feels about the new uniforms.
All I will say about the new uniforms is you can tell where they got the inspiration from.
Yeah, as always, fuck the Addams family. Always and forever, amen. Hey, you know how it is. Like, the fact that they had the balls to copyright A Shade of Blue.
I mean, there's a little bleh, you know.
I fucking hate the Titans, bro. It really doesn't help that the Titans are the Titans play in Nashville, which is like country music headquarters, and also Kid Rock is there.
Yeah. I will say I don't hate the uniforms, but I am disappointed. Like, look, if you're gonna flex on, if you're gonna try and make Houston mad, why not have the red face mask? Like, you need the red face mask for this.
Yeah. A pretty underwhelming look for pretty underwhelming uh you know, redesign. Just kind of makes them look it just kind of makes them look like they stole the Detroit Lions look but added like a red stroke to everything.
Mhm.
Uh which I guess is kind of fitting, you know, considering our good friend Rob Ritchie moved down there from Michigan. I say good friend with all the bile and hatred I can possibly muster. Fuck that guy. Uh, Ba Da Ba is the only good thing that man has ever done. Uh, anyway,
I
Vegas.
was gonna say, yeah, Vegas, actually. Actually, one more thing before we get to the Raiders. So, we talked about bad collectors, and I think Daniel Jones just solidified his Hall of Fame case.
Dude's an all-time greatest bag secure. How has
Well,
nobody seen this?
I'm
How
just
has nobody
saying.
seen this? This is the most obvious generational bag secure. This is what he does. He's like,
You know,
I'm not
I,
going to accept a franchise, a tag. I will pay what my market commands me. I demand $50 million. Twiddles his
is that your?
mustache. And since the Colts literally can't do anything, they're like, fine.
Yeah, you know, it's like the ghost of Ursay comes down. You got yourself a deal, kid.
No, I think did Charlie Ursay ever do like she grabbed the fucking Ouija board and he was like, "Tell me where to go. Do I give Daniel Jones $50 million? Dad, are you sure about this? You sure? It says yes. All right then. Guess we're signing Daniel Jones to a fucking $50 million deal."
Mrs. Ursay, could you stop doing seances in the front office? We have to make a decision at quarterback.
Shut up. I am contacting the spirits. They will guide us to glory. And then she's looking this like, this is a really stupid decision. Fine, but I'm only giving him 2 years.
I legitimately was talking to a Texans fan who was like, actually, I think this is a good deal for the Colts. I'm like, what are you
It
smoking,
is
bro?
because you give him the money, but you don't give him the term.
Right.
You get if it was like 50 but for the next 4 and you guarantee like 3 of those years, I call you crazy, but this one, it seems like you're just gonna cut. If he doesn't do well, you're just gonna cut bait after the first year. So
I'm
it's
just saying.
fine. I'm
I
fine
just
with
think
it.
I just think it seems like a really bad gamble, considering he just tore his ACL and
You're right. It's a gamble, but in the sense of if he doesn't work out next year, you're gonna cut him for nothing. It's a one.
That's
He's making
true.
only $50 million for 1 year. This is probably his last payday, unless he is forced to play well. Because if he doesn't play well, guess what happens?
uh
He's going to get released, and the
and then
Colts
he go
they dust their hands
and
up and they walk away.
and then you know what
Yeah,
happens?
he gets released, and he gets to join the league minimum club.
No, you know what it is? The Dolphins, one of those bottom five teams, are just like so desperate for a quarterback that they're just like, "Excuse me, Mr. Jones,
Could you
we
please
couldn't
sign with
help
us,
but notice that you
please?
have functional arms." Uh, like don't be surprised if you see Daniel Jones in a fucking Browns uniform soon.
I mean, I
Wouldn't
think
even
it's kind of
surprise
funny
me.
that we all envision, like, I think we all envisioned Daniel Jones to be starting for the Colts at some point. I think that's like the funniest thing ever.
What a envisioning him starting with the fucking Browns.
That would
uh,
surprise me, but yeah, I don't hate the Daniel Jones contract. He is right. It is a really good deal for the Colts because he does well. Cool. Then you probably it's very much a weird bridge style contract because if he plays well, you're probably going to the off season you're going to be able to extend him probably for another 2 years, and they're going to throw some guarantees. But if not, damn, Daniel,
I mean, who else? I mean, who else do they freaking got, man? They can't. They can't legitimately be thinking of like
Anthony Richardson.
They're gonna trade AR-15 to see where he goes, and the way I see with Anthony Richardson, if somebody wants him, they'll trade him away because, like, I'm gonna be honest, you know, gonna be completely honest here. I think they might just cut him. I don't think, because, like,
That'd be very funny.
the sad thing with Anthony Richardson, he doesn't have a market. I don't think there's anybody that's gonna look at him and say, you know what, I can salvage Anthony Richardson. And
yeah. Don't be so sure, man. I'm sure there's a team up in Canada who could use him to throw a rouge on third down.
there's no more Spencer. I have some bad news.
Oh, what's that?
The Rouge is gone.
Fuck!
The Rouge is being removed at the start of the
Fuck
season.
no! There goes Anthony Richardson's purpose. Fuck!
And it's only for punts, by the way. It's only for punts.
Arm punt. Hello.
Well, I know. But yeah, the Rouge is no longer in the CFL. The CFL's gonna be they're doing a bunch of changes, and a lot of Canadians are fucking pissed off about it. And I'm like, are you
Yeah.
fucking stupid? This is like really, this is actually really good. This is like they
Yeah.
made
Like.
a good choice for once in their life.
I will say though, regarding anything happening with Richardson, the real funny thing with Anthony Richardson is he's probably at best right now, third in line when it comes to potential quarterback trades because you have to remember the Niners are looking at trading Mac Jones right now, and the Bears are probably looking at probably trading Tyson Bagent too. So like, he's stuck in line right now.
Damn.
Meanwhile, yeah. Well, bad news, Ottawa Red Blacks. You can't get Anthony Richardson to save your franchise.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, because I can so see him in like a Red Blacks uniform or like the
I think his
Argos.
style would fit better for. I think for. Um. I think the way how I see it for Anthony Richardson, I think he would be very weirdly successful in the CFL. Weirdly successful.
Oh, you mean sort of like a Doug Flutie situation?
I think he would be because like the CFL, you're not it's you have to adjust to there'll be an adjustment period, but I think for the way how it's built, he would weirdly be successful. Weirdly.
So, to any representatives of the Toronto Argonauts who are listening, or like any other middling CFL team that is in quarterback need, this is your chance. This is your wake up call. Uh,
Weirdly, it is. It's so weird because I think this is something that I could see go quite well. Keep in mind, he could just also fucking suck.
right. We.
Right?
I'm just thinking out loud here. Anyway, we were going to talk about Vegas, and apparently there's a
Vegas,
burger there.
baby.
Yes, yes, it is time to talk about the Raiders, and there is a lot that has happened with the Raiders this week, and a lot of it I really like. I really like a lot of what they've done actually. Um, so let's just get the elephant out of the room. Uh, yeah, let's just address the elephant. Max Crosby trade. That whole debacle. It is it is quite the turn of events where Max Crosby was set to go to Baltimore. He literally visits them. He literally visits the Ravens organization. Oh, he's there. The trade's officially dead. The Ravens said, "You know what? Actually, we're not doing this. Failed physical. We're not doing this. We're no longer doing this." I'll just say for that, I definitely think I think in terms of like thinking about this more because there's already been the conspiracy theories about the Ravens got cold feet and they said, you know what, we're not going to do this. We want our picks back. And obviously that's not helped by the fact that they, got Henderson. That that doesn't help with that. That clearly doesn't help with that, making them look innocent at all. I think what in my opinion, what I think happened, I think the Ravens definitely got cold feet, but they still wanted to see Max in person. Still wanted to see him. Still wanted to see how things looked. And they saw the physical because Max Crosby's still recovering from his injuries and said, you know what, we're calling off the trade now. So I think it was probably a mixture of they got cold feet, they wanted to confirm it just for the sake of, not having Max Crosby be very pissed having to travel all that way just to be told, "Hey, you're not welcome here. We're not taking you anymore." But yeah, that whole debacle was very funny. And the funniest part about it is despite all the moves that the Raiders have made, which we will get to, they have the cap space to keep Max Crosby on the roster, which is very funny. And even funnier is the fact that while that happened, the Raiders stole the Ravens center in Tyler Linderbaum for a monstrous contract. 3 years, $81 million. The Ravens offered him 4 years, $88 million, but he liked the higher annual average a lot more. And the Raiders get probably the best alignment on the market.
Oh yeah.
I mean, can I be half right?
I
Sure.
think
Can I be half right? Because in technicality, I mean, he was traded, but like, I technically wasn't wrong. You know, I wasn't wrong. Because now
Technically,
it sounds
by
like the Raiders
technicality.
are gonna go all in, and they're gonna stick with
Crosby.
yeah.
Crosby.
Honestly, I think that this trade or lack thereof, is probably the best thing that could have happened to the Raiders, because I really did not want them to suffer another Khalil Mack type disaster. Um, and
Yeah,
Also, I think
and
Tyler Linderbaum is a great get, because it tells me they're really excited to give Fernando Mendoza the best possible, you
a
know.
line. Yeah, and like they're paying a lot, but for how good he is, like it is absolutely worth paying him that much, especially with how bad the Raiders' O line was last year. And granted, you now have a firmly established center to work with. You're getting Colton Miller back. Jackson Powers Johnson will hopefully not be run into the ground by this coaching staff like he was by the Carrolls. And I think the Raiders, with a little more, just a little more work to the O line, they could have something that looks extremely promising.
The Raiders have
Um,
done a very good offseason, which. Oh shit, that's right. Our honorable mention was wait, the Raiders are in the. They're tied. I missed it. Anyways, the Raiders could really dig themselves out of a hole here, but I hate to be this asshole. Until the Raiders start a string of success, it's the Raiders. They're gonna fuck it up somehow. Until we make the playoffs for consecutive years, until I see some form of success. Your moves are adorable. They're cute. Now go fucking win games.
I will say, on the still on the offensive side though, the other move they made on the offensive side of the ball, they signed Jalen Naylor to a 3-year, $35 million deal.
Bad.
But yeah, I mean, obviously though, outside of Linderbaum, the main focus has really been on the defense, which I like that they're doing that because the defense needs work. They're bringing back Eric Stokes, which I really like because he had a very good season for the Raiders last year. One of the a few bright spots on that defense, not named Max Crosby. And I've noticed a theme now with the Raiders this offseason, especially with keeping Eric Stokes. They really like them Bulldogs. They really like them dogs because they signed both N'Kobe Dean and Quay Walker to 3-year deals apiece.
You don't suppose Howie Roseman is involved in some way, do you?
Would be interesting, but I will say though regarding Quay Walker, I'm fully expecting him to get his head out of his ass and whatever bullshit he was doing in Green Bay, because they already did that with Eric Stokes, and it would be a whole lot funnier if the Raiders end up fixing Quay Walker. Like that would be truly hilarious.
Yeah. Matt LaFleur is still a cuck.
True. That is
all
very true.
weird.
They also signed Quiddy Pay. A 3-year
Ooh.
deal.
Look, everybody, it's Quiddy Pay. No, that's not doing anything for me. Sorry.
I just remember, honestly, the main thing I remember Quiddy Pay was I remember from the Dumpster Fire draft stream in 2021 when the Giants selected Kadarius Toney. I just remember Five really wanting Quiddy Pay, and that was right before he ended up crashing out against his chair. because of
Yeah,
Kadarius Toney.
yeah, he literally said if the Giants choose draft Kadarius Toney, I'm gonna lose my shit. And then fucking with the 20th overall pick, the New York Giants select. and and then it was one of those where nobody won because immediately after that, the Steelers selected Najee Harris, which caused Tree to crash out.
But we all knew they were going to select Najee Harris anyways.
Yeah, it was funny though. But I do think what I'm most interested in with the Raiders now. It seems like their big moves have been done. Really, the one other rumor I've been hearing is, from the sounds of it, it definitely sounds like Kubiak and co. would prefer to have Mendoza sit to start his career and, learn on the bench for a bit. And obviously that has, created the rumors of who the quarterback would be, starting in place of Mendoza for the time being while he learns and gets comfortable. And a lot of those rumors right now, considering that this is Glenn Kubiak we're talking about, a lot of those rumors link the Raiders with Kirk Cousins, Mr.
I'm
Kirko
gonna
himself.
be so real. That is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
I get that you want to acclimate him, but whenever you take a QB first overall, you are starting him. If you're not confident in Mendoza right away, you pass. I
mean,
don't like
if
sitting
you're
your
not,
first overall pick QB to get him comfortable while you have Kirk Cousins, who I think would just be the worst mentor for Mendoza.
Here's the thing about Kirk Cousins that I wouldn't like about it. It's Kirk Cousins in Las Vegas. Kirk Cousins, Las Vegas. Think about it for more than 10 seconds.
I mean, with how much money he has, that is, that would be, he would have way too much money to spend. And, I think the NFL doesn't want to join the MLB and the NBA in terms of controversies. I mean, the thing is, I do think Kirk would be fine as a mentor, considering he does understand the system, the Kubiak system. I think as a mentor, it's fine. In terms of mentors, I'm fine with that over Geno, only because oh yeah, I didn't even mention the fact that Geno got traded to the Jets. I didn't even mention that. That Geno Smith got traded to the Jets. Hope he does better there than he did with the Raiders. But I mean, the thing is, it's like, I don't think it's anything confirmed or anything. Like, it's definitely not that, and it's been very clear. Like, it's been clear since, Tom Brady and Mark Davis were at the damn championship game who they're going to be taking with the first overall pick. It's been extremely clear what's going to happen here, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It is. I'm quite curious. I hope that they make the right decision. Cause I want to go beyond the. It's the so and so team. It's the so and so team. They're going to fuck it up somehow, cause it's the so and so team.
Yeah, basically the same thing I always say. It's like, I mean, if you don't get your shit together, I'm just gonna start calling you the Bright Sun Films franchise.
Yeah.
It is very funny though. It is very funny because I was thinking about the options for Kirk Cousins, and it's like, the reason I don't want this happening is not because of the reasons I've mentioned. The reason I don't want this happening 'Cause I think there's a real possibility that the Steelers could sign him, and that'd be way funnier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, my main issue with Kirk Cousins signing in a place like Vegas is that he's such a he's such a goody two shoes is my big thing. Like I don't know if you caught this during his episodes of Quarterback or not, but like he comes from a very religious part of Michigan, and it very much shows.
Yeah.
Like he's exactly like Fernando Mendoza in that they're both like dorky goobers who are like goody two shoe Christians. Um, I definitely think that Vegas would not at all be the right place for for Cousins.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
no
I mean,
offense.
I will say, crap, what was I gonna say? Well, you know what? I will, um, crap, like, I still want to talk about the Raiders, but now that I mentioned the Steelers, I'm just thinking all about, like, what the hell are they gonna do with their quarterback situation?
yeah, like like none of the quarterbacks that are there, um, like none of the quarterbacks that are at that area of the draft are good. Like,
Yeah, I
and
really don't think that, I really don't think Ty Simpson's going in the first round. That's just my take. I don't think
yeah,
he's going in the first round.
yeah. Sorry, Taegan. I just don't see it.
I I know there's this desperation for QBs, and I get it, but I don't think people are that desperate. I don't think people are that desperate.
I mean, you
Just
yeah. If you're really that desperate, I really think you should go for Tim Boyle, if anything.
and more importantly yet, next year's draft class is so much better. Why waste a first round pick on a guy that you think is going to be the franchise quarterback when, you can just, you know, tank this year and look at next year's crop of QBs because they're just infinitely better. Yeah.
Although, going back to Vegas real quick, not at all about their like their football team. Transitioning now to their baseball team. I'm not sure they chose uh why the A's chose that spot for their baseball stadium. Um, the old Tropicana site. Uh, I mean, personally, if it were up to me, I probably would have chosen the old Frontier lot, but
Yeah. Yeah, that lot has literally been like, that's been empty since the Frontier got imploded, which is, yeah, kind of a yikes. I do think that would have been a great location for that. I think it would have been a perfect location. If you're not gonna do the, Frontier location and you want it, like, not that far from, like, not like at the Tropicana, but, like, not as far from, like, Allegiant Stadium, then I'd say, like, go for that big, like, a lot of dirt by, Blue Diamond, like, below the 215 and all that, because that's probably, from what I've heard, that could be where, like, maybe, like, if they get, like, an NBA team, that could be where they build something there, because, yeah, there's a lot of land right there, and, there'd be more than enough to build something there, but, yeah, I do agree if you're going for the Strip, I would've much rather preferred frontier locations and like having to implode the Tropicana.
Yeah. Because, like, I want to say, like, Obama was still the president when the frontier got imploded.
Oh no, Bush was the president,
Oh my God.
like 2008 or 2007, one of the two.
Jesus Christ.
'Cause I know the Stardust got imploded that same year as well, but yeah, it was yeah, as as you would see a lot of times in Bright Sun Films videos, the Great Recession was not kind to Vegas.
No shit. You're telling me a recession might hit a vacation spot pretty hard? No way.
Surely
That's
it's not happening
crazy.
now either.
That's crazy. That's just wild. You don't say. Ay vey.
I mean, what else is there? Basketball.
They put the ball in the hoop and somebody put the ball in the hoop a lot of times, and that amounted to 83 points.
And his name was Bam Margera.
And he was able to put the ball in the net so many times that he beat Kobe Bryant's record of 81.
Yeah. And for all the Kobe cells that are seething right now, um, just remember that your favorite player was a rapist.
No,
Yep.
I think the funny I do wish that the only thing I do wish is I wish it had happened in Denver because you could make the obvious joke if it had happened in Denver.
Yeah, but Denver's too good of a
But,
team. The Wizards are that bad where somebody can pop off like that.
yeah, no, the Wizards are, I do just want to imagine what was going on in that locker room after, you just experienced Bam Adebayo dropping 83 on you. They were triple teaming him in the goddamn front court, and he's just out there dropping 83. Like, what are you like, how do you even feel after that?
Kind of hard. Kind of hard
Yeah.
to say because
Also, I love how in record time, like, people, like, seeing Bam had a bio dropped 80 like, dropping 83, it's basically just, like, it's convinced everyone that, like, "Okay, Wilt dropped 100 at one point. It had to have happened because there's no way Bam Adebayo holds the record now. He had to have dropped 100 at some point."
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is really funny, though. It is genuinely hilarious.
Yeah. I shared a picture with my older brother. Yeah, unfortunately, Bam Margera got knocked down to the number two most popular band, right behind Adebayo.
Mhm.
A sad day in the Margera household.
True.
Yeah, that's just wild. Bro put damn
83.
points. Like damn, bro got points
Eight.
and got so many of them. Wow.
Uh, I have a
Also,
gut feeling.
you know what? Actually, one more thing I got about Bam Adebayo. Someone said, "What is the closest comparison in terms of like for other sports? What does Bam Adebayo dropping 83 feel like?" And someone said like Nick Foles throwing 7 touchdowns against the Raiders. That is such a real comment. Like
Mhm.
that's such a real comment right there.
Mhm.
Oh my
I
god,
can't
I
wait
forgot about that season.
for people to playoffs and then people just put point in the hoop and some people gonna win 4 games, but if you don't win 4 games, man, you are not the advancing. Damn.
I have a gut feeling you don't pay much attention to basketball. Am I getting your vibe right?
What would make you say that? Okay, honestly, like when this is nothing against Chris. I thought I knew enough, and then I heard Chris talking about basketball, and then I'm like, I don't know jack shit about this sport anymore. I don't know, like it's the gambling that was probably the permanent thing that was the last switch that just flipped me off of basketball forever. The fact that it also happened in the collegiate side too. I don't think I'll ever be paying attention much to basketball except teams left remaining tracker on who's not going to make it to March Madness. Even if Seattle gets a team, eh. Like, do you know how long they've been saying the Seattle's gonna get a team? They've been saying this shit since 2017, man. We're gonna expand, guys. We're gonna expand. I'm still waiting for them to expand. Are you or are you not going to expand? I feel like this point, the more you say you're gonna expand, the more you're not going to expand. This felt like the easiest thing they could have done, but like they're not gonna do it, and it's the most fucking annoying thing on the planet.
See, and the rumor I always heard about a Seattle team is that Steve Ballmer was going to move the Clippers to Seattle.
I keep hearing it. Are we? Aren't we? I don't believe in basketball expansion until it actually fucking happens. And all I know is that at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna really matter at all right now because, there's gonna be some stupid prop bet on Polymarket that they're gonna lure suckers into that they're gonna pull the fucking rug from. Like, they're probably gonna be like, hey guys, guess what? How about a second Portland team? Who had that? Who had that, you fucking gambling idiots? Ha! Take that! They're gonna put one in Boise, Boise, Idaho. Or something fucking stupid.
Vancouver. They're gonna try it Vancouver again.
Oh, let's try it. Sure, fuck it. Let's try Vancouver. Who thought of Vancouver? You guys thought we were going to put one in Vegas? No, we're going to put a third team in LA, and we're going to go to Vancouver. Ha!
For the record,
fucking idiots.
For the record, I still think if Vegas does get a team, they should call themselves the Caesars.
They'll call them. I don't think there's going to be a team in Vegas because there's some bet on Polymarket that they're going to be like, look at these idiots. I just want to know what it is so I can put my life savings on it so I can, make some money.
Well, you know how you can find out.
Idiots, but
you know how you can find out, Luke.
Oh, I don't download Polymarket or fucking Catchy
No, I mean,
Sport.
you know how you... No. Not that. No. You asked my boy Grok.
Oh, we don't have access to Grok anymore. Grok's a paid feature. We can't Grok is this true anymore.
You know what we do then? You know what we do when you can't afford Grok? You go to my main man React bot.
Yeah, we have our own bot.
Yeah, fuck you, Grok. We got React bot.
Grok, we're gonna ask our own bot, you bitch. Yeah.
Anyways,
fuck you. We're gonna ask our own bot, you fucking asshole. Yeah, we're gonna ask our own bot the question. Where's this toothy little bastard? There's this toothy little bastard. Alright, let's see. This toothy little fucking bastard. Alright. Hey, ReactBot! Is this true?
TGIF.
Thank you, ReactBot.
Yeah!
Thank you very much.
We have our,
anyways, I was going to say...
At ReactBot.
Oh my god. Anyways, I was going to say this. Because we mentioned basketball, and yeah, next week is March Madness. Oh, Lord.
Get your tubes tied, folks.
Yeah.
It's that time.
Yeah, it's that time for me to... Okay. I do have one genuine college basketball take. Put Miami of Ohio in. 31-0. They deserve to be in it. Put them in it. You gotta reward them for going undefeated in the season. Right, ReactBot?
Wow. I have no words.
See? He agrees!
Yeah,
Yeah!
He gets it. He
gets
knows
it.
ball.
He
knows
gets it.
ball.
He gets it. React bot knows ball. He knows ball.
But legitimately, the only reason and the only excuse for the selection committee to even think about putting Auburn in the tournament is to have them face Miami, Ohio, because Miami of Ohio should be in the damn thing, and if they're not, it is that's a horrible look. That would be an
Well,
atrocious look
then,
for the
quite
committee.
frankly, I'm gonna go to their house and shit in their mailbox. Is what it is.
I mean, honestly, I think it's the easiest thing. Play-in game. Miami of Ohio versus Auburn, and if Auburn crushes them, then we go, oh, that's right. That's why there's a power conference, because their talent will always surpass everybody else. I mean, I don't know how the basketball dynamic is, but like there's 300 schools in this thing, man. There's 300 schools. There's only like God knows how many conferences. And I mean, whatever happens, happens, honestly. You know? This might just be because I'm too old for this, but like whatever
Yes,
happens
you are.
kind of happens, and it could be because I'm unk,
You are.
but like, you know, there's like 68 slots. You want to extend this thing to like 72 or something stupid like that. It
No. You got 68 slots. You can take one away because you know what you have. Then you got 6, 7.
no. But anyways, make it a play-in spot. Give it to them. Reward teams like this, because is there another tournament, or is that tournament not happening anymore?
There is, but let's be real. This is like,
Yeah.
well, actually, there's
I'm,
multiple, but like,
I
like
gotta be completely honest. Nobody gives a shit about the NIT.
yeah.
It's so dumb, man. The NIT. Oh, I don't know. College sports are just weird.
It's not even close to like the level of like what like even like the lower tier bowl games are. It's just it really doesn't mean much.
It really, like, yeah. It's all about it. I think when you put something to where when you have a chance to win it all, that's going to surpass anything you want, honestly. You know. But yeah, there's my knowledge on basketball.
What other sports are going on right now?
There's some big news in the big. Okay, so do you know what's the most stupidest thing? Okay, so there's a bunch of just nonsensical drama happening with the Mariners. And who saw when Cal Raleigh didn't give Randy Rosarena a handshake in the game?
I don't care.
That's fair. That's fair. But it's Randy Rosarena's comments saying after the game, saying that Cal Raleigh can go to fucking hell because they're teammates, right? Cal takes the higher road and says, he's my brother. I care about him. Randy Rosarena still is acting like a petty bitch. So yeah, that's fun. Drama happening with the Mariners. Fun. Sort this shit out soon, and if this shit's not sorted out, get Randy Rosarena the fuck off of my team, because we have World Series ambitions, and if you're gonna be this petty over a fucking handshake, get the fuck out of here. Oh, and if you also didn't watch the World Baseball Classic, Josh Naylor did that. Just wanted to give him a fist bump, but like Cal wasn't having it. Like, all right. So, yeah, that's going to be some interesting things for the Mariners.
Anyways, it didn't happen, but it's still funny to talk about how Team USA almost accidentally eliminated themselves.
That
It
was the
truly
funniest
is.
thing. I was in stitches because the USA should not be. The USA should be sweeping 4-0 right now. They're struggling against Canada. It's close versus Canada right now when it shouldn't be this close. And if Canada does win this, I am going to pee my pants in laughter because this will be the funniest thing on the planet. Canada should
I mean,
not be beating the USA in baseball. Period. We're gonna be we're like wait we were like the 8th best team going into the World Baseball Classic and somehow in the quarterfinals. And like if we do win somehow, like it's bottom 8, no outs, so we do have 6 outs to pass them. If we're gonna get destroyed by the Dominican Republic, man. We're gonna get destroyed. We're gonna get destroyed by the
I mean, the crazy
DR.
thing is,
Yeah.
the crazy thing is, it's like it's so funny how Mark DeRosa like literally pulled a Ron Rivera because he literally thought like, yeah, we're in. It's like, oh no, we're not actually in yet, and we lost to Italy and almost put us in a situation where had things gone a lot better for Mexico, the United States could have been knocked out. But that didn't happen. But either way, it was a hilarious situation. And the funniest part about it is that the clip of where he said that was on the MLB's YouTube channel, and they immediately privated it. They immediately turned that shit private the moment it got out that yeah, they fucked this up.
Oh no, you don't want the visual embarrassing moment on TV. Yeah, that's whatever. I mean, I think it's insanely stupid. You know, it was funny, but hopefully USA can kind of wake up and say react. But will the USA wake up in time?
Oh my god, you can't say that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, how dare you?
And I say that Israel got eliminated.
Yeah, another 10 trillion losses to Israel, folks.
React, but are you saying the USA might lose to Canada today?
This is actual brain rot.
Oh, no, no.
Okay, no, I don't know. Okay,
No.
that's fair.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you went too far this time.
the only I will say the only notable thing, the only reason I even brought up Israel about them getting eliminated is I watched a video last night about like how like a lot of like about how like the whole like World Baseball Classic, like the roster and the processing is kind of a joke. It's a little bit of a joke. And for anyone wondering, it's the video where it features Marcus Stroman going from the USA, the United States flag, the Puerto Rico flag, to the Israel flag, and this was not confirmed, but apparently he may or may not have tried to apply for Team Israel because he was not going to make it onto the Puerto Rican team, which is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Bruh.
That's just sad. It's just fucking sad. That's just sad. That is completely sad. I mean, hey, at least World Baseball Classic has given us a lot of good moments about why baseball is a true pastime. Season is 2 weeks away from kicking off, so that is also incredibly exciting. Opening day is upon us very soon, and the grind to the baseball's biggest prize is almost upon us, and this will be the last year of baseball because, oh boy, CBA.
They just had to go and frick it up with all the money, didn't they?
Like this, like baseball's just gaining momentum, and then they're gonna be like, you know what? Kind of don't need that. Kind of don't need this thing you guys call momentum and everything. We don't need this whole momentum thing. Let's just fucking destroy it and have the WNBA dominate the summer. You know?
So stupid, you know that?
It is. It is the dumbest thing that there could
And
be.
then, actually, we're not even gonna have that because guess what? The WNBA, they're being fucking stupid with their contract negotiation too.
I feel my thing with that. I'm so mixed about this. I'm so mixed about it because I feel like at the same time you can. They need a couple more years. And the value is just not quite there yet. But it feels like they can't give every single player in the WNBA $1 million because I don't think they can afford it yet. It's getting there, but they just need to play ball. I think they are going to come out as millionaires, but it's just not there yet. It's almost there. But I do hope I do want them to get paid, but I don't think it's quite there yet, unfortunately. That's kind of just how I see it. But we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, we could be all forced to. What do we do, dude? Someone's gonna. There's two football leagues: the Continental Football League and the CFL. That's right, kids. Do you know about the Continental Football? Why the fuck are there 4 teams in Texas? Why? There are 4 teams in fucking Texas, dude.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know. I don't get it. There are 4 teams in Texas. There are 8 teams total. I'm like, oh good lord, I don't think this league is gonna fucking last.
Fucking Midland, Texas.
Yeah.
It speaks for itself.
There's Fort Wayne.
It's Midland.
I think there's another league that's gonna go defunct.
And the team is called Tall City Black Gold. What are we doing?
I know.
What?
I know. I recently found them on I think it was James Larson. He's really good for football outside of the NFL. And you know,
Yeah, if I may,
fun fact, Paxton Lynch is also balling out in the Arena Football League. It's kind of a little bit of a reminder. He's really good for that kind of stuff. But I look at the Continental Football League as a thing. There's again, look at the website here. A fan-driven professional football league back to America's heartland with history, community, and innovation at its core.
There's
10 teams. Oh no, the 1965.
There's 8 teams. Here's a fun fact. Here's an interesting little factoid. 3 of the 8 teams don't have a stadium announced yet.
Another note, their thing was that it is owned. They have fan ownership and local community and a small business. Okay. Alrighty then. I mean, the teams Ohio Valley, Cincinnati, Texas State, San Antonio. But then the Fort Wayne, they haven't even put fucking Fort Wayne in here. Oh my god, this league is so gonna. This screams we're gonna fold in 1 year.
Keep in mind, right? Are you sure you keep meaning to say Fort Wayne and not Fort Worth?
Fort Worth. Oh,
yeah. Here's the thing. Fort Worth, Indianapolis, and Michigan don't have stadiums announced yet.
Oh, lovely. Oh, and get this. They only play 6 games. And then it's the playoffs.
God.
Who
Also,
wants
sorry
to
for
follow the dumpster fire? Where can we even
I
look
do. Well,
All
actually,
right,
no.
so we'll keep tabs with this.
Um,
Because they're supposed to start in there's a countdown for this. It's supposed to start in 74 days, and we have no idea what the coach. Well, we have some coaches have been announced, but we don't
listen.
know when the coaches are or the rosters are going to look like. No, they brought some coaches. Mike Fuanga. That guy
Wow.
screams. Oh, he's the defensive coordinator. Wow, of the Indianapolis Capitals. Let's go. Let's go look at what they got. Edward Childress, assistant general manager. There's open tryouts. Their head coach is Hal Moonmay.
I have a gut feeling this is gonna be a shit show anyway. Nick, if you need me to fill a similar role to what you did when you explained the AFL on your channel, just so you can have somebody else do voiceover for that, just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do.
I want to look
Yeah.
up who the fuck the coaches are.
Also, has anybody seen Lee Hutton since that disaster?
No.
Not that I've heard of.
Uh,
Pepper Johnson, Michigan Arrows defensive coordinator.
I hear he's a weird little fucker, but I likes him.
I'm looking, just scrolling at the coaches. Pepper Johnson. Who's their head coach? Steve Kazor.
Am I supposed to? Okay, let's take a look at what he does. All right. This is his. Oh, he served as a scout with the Rams from 2007 to 2022, and then was an administrator for the Michigan Panthers after that. Um, Before that, he was an O-line coach for the Ottawa Renegades back in 2006. Um, his last head coaching job was at DuPage University, um, which is a community college in Illinois that plays that. Hang on. Uh, yeah, they play in the NJCAA.
Note. So the Tall City Black Gold, Rodney Blackshear is their coach, and they've also signed a couple of players. They've signed 4 players.
I
So
will
far.
say, Rodney Blackshear does hold a special place in my heart because he was sort of the big MVP of the 2001 Rampage team that won it all in the AFL. And the Rampage were like the one real team that Grand Rapids had back in the 2000s. Back when all the furniture companies were moving out of town. Although I am interested, now I have to look up when's 74 days from now.
It kicks off sometime in March. They have their schedule,
May
but the Fort Worth
26th.
Braves doesn't even have a. Oh, good lord, this is gonna be a fucking
Yeah.
disaster.
May 26th is the big day according to Wolfram Alpha. Let's see what else. Sorry, I'm doing I'm trying to figure out a thing here. Um, I'm trying to figure out when Amway Stadium opens up. That's our new. Oh, that doesn't even open up until next year.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this
So
once we get more information about this league sounds like
yeah,
it's gonna
it's
be
a.
This league needs another year to cook. Oh my god, these guys are not ready. This league is not ready. This league is not ready. What are you guys doing starting this year? What are you honestly do? Okay, we're gonna keep tabs upon this because this might be an untitled project.
Yeah, this is definitely veering into uh Nickman rant style video.
All right, I
You
want
know,
everybody
True.
if
place your bets. Reactbot. Okay, you know what? We gotta ask the real person. Reactbot, is this league gonna last? Oh no! Oh
what do you do? What do you
no!
do? Ah!
Oh no! He took
Ah!
a fucking selfie and he had his little stupid ass smirk.
No, that wasn't a selfie. That was an Uno reverse card. That was an Uno reverse
It
card.
was this league is cooked.
Oh.
Oh no! Wait, if it wasn't, does this mean this league's going to be okay? Hold on, Reactbot. Please clarify that statement.
Yippee!
Huh? You know,
Oh
what, we're just gonna
shit.
go with the fact that Uno reversed us. Yeah. We're gonna keep an eye on your Continental Football League.
Yeah.
There's no information, and you guys are gonna kick off at 3 months from now. The UFL, like every single spring league that I've seen, has had their shit sorted out about like 4 or 5 months before the season kicks off.
Yeah.
Not 3. Not less than It's
Me,
less than 3 months. It's something like 2 months. Some of these guys don't even have a coach or stadiums yet. Oh my god, this league is fucked.
yeah. Almost half the league does not have a stadium yet. Um, but yeah, this could be on the level of like we could have another, a Purdue project level video on our hands.
Hmm. Oh yeah, big time.
Oh my god.
Well, the fact that we've got another dumpster fire spring football league, and I think this one's gonna go quietly because I haven't heard anybody talk about this league at all,
Yeah.
which
Now I
kind
have.
of is a bad
Oh my god.
sign.
Oh my god. Now I have to. I have to look at their website now.
Their
Um.
website, dude, they have added their 8th team, and like earlier this week, that team is still yet to be added. This website's not even up to date.
Oh my god. They got a GIF of like the old 1960s game. Oh god. It looks like an old GeoCities page. Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh, folks, we have a new. You know what? Do we put this into pick'ems? It's very simple. Bonus points. How long does this until this league folds, or does this league compete its first season? Because I might have a
Dude,
sick.
why did they have the inaugural league and not the fucking I don't know the fucking actual teams?
Dude, Spencer, check the teams page. There, you notice how there's one team that's missing.
Okay, so
They revealed that team earlier this week.
Iron Man. Uh, huh? Where are the Braves?
This website's not even up to date, man.
Also, uh, the web pages, the logos for the Dukes, uh, the Cincinnati Dukes, the Michigan Arrows, and shit, what's the C team here? Uh, Oh my god. What the fuck is this team? That's like a whole different goddamn team right there.
uh, yeah.
Okay, Michigan. Okay, Michigan Arrows. That's an arrowhead with the state of Michigan. That checks out. San Antonio Toros. San Antonio Toros. Check. Tall City Black Gold. Garbage name, but there's the crest. There's the oil derrick. There's the TC. Tall City. Okay, that makes sense. Uh, fucking Texas Syndicate. That logo looks fucking AI generated, but there it is. Cincinnati Dukes. Yeah, you could say that. Wait a goddamn second. That's the Wikipedia page. Oh wait, yes it is. There it is. Okay, whatever. Ohio Valley Ironmen, or as it says on here, Ironmen Ohio Valley. Fucking trash name. Uh, where the fuck is Moundsville, West Virginia? What are you doing? Uh, but yeah, that leave. Wait, is that the Indianapolis Capitals?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, that's your logo, bro? That's supposed to say Indianapolis Capitals?
I'm very much
Oh
enjoying
my
your discovery on how terrible this league is. And it caught my eye. It caught my eye earlier this week on Twitter.
guys, chat. Uh, there's no chat here. I'm the only one watching this. But chat, we put in more effort with our stream tonight than the fucking Continental Football League put in with their website.
Yeah, I popped off in like one of my games of Deadlock too.
We
I
even
mean, I
got
got
our
my
boy
ass kicked in
React
the other
bot.
2 games, but I popped off on one of them.
Yeah, we got our boy React bot. That's how much effort we put in. React bot, give it to the chat.
When?
My man!
My man. My man! Anyways, yeah, there's a Continental Football League. We'll be keeping tabs on this one because this scene feels like a dumpster fire you could see coming from a mile away.
Plus,
And
they tried to back into the, get into the whole MAGA movement, which gross.
yeah, that is quite something. But anyways, we'll see what happens with this league. UFL looks like they're going to be going into full swing. Things look like to be all good, good to go.
The
Kind of my big
NHL
thing,
is
kind of a
in
big
the
thing for them
playoff
this year is I
run.
want them to see if they can still pull good TV numbers and have
Yeah.
about, on average, 12,500 fans per game.
Yeah. And of course, the big thing I'm hoping for the UFL, when Amway Stadium opens up in 2027, you're gonna have an 8,500 seat stadium with an option to expand it out to 11,000 seats.
I think
It may
that's a
not.
little bit too small. I think they would be looking for something that's more around at least 20,000.
Oh, God, peas. I thought it was cooking.
I see the thing, but the thing with Michigan, they were out. They had the second highest in attendance. About with I think they're the next city that could have been at least 20,000 fans had it
Yeah,
stayed in Michigan.
I
8,000's
just want
too
professional
small.
football in Grand Rapids, God damn it! We haven't had a professional team since 1961 with the Grand Rapids Blazers for God, what fucking league was it? Um defunct was it defunct national? My God. Was it the Was it a previous iteration of the Continental Football League? Oh my god.
Yep. There was a previous iteration.
So yeah, I mean, I do want Michigan to get a team, but maybe they should look at getting at least. I think they might like you have a chance if it's like 15 to 16,000, because then you have a
Yeah.
completely full stadium.
America wins. They win the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
Yep.
That should not be a surprise because it's.
America versus the Dominican Republic. Should be a very good game.
Yeah. I guess it
I
wasn't
have
the.
DR winning because America's been playing with their food.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different league. I'm thinking of the United Football League, the 1961 to 1964 version, the old UFL, the Grand Rapids Blazers that existed from 1961 to 1964. Uh, yeah, that's the last time Grand Rapids had a professional football team. That
I mean,
wasn't
I do want
arena.
Grand Rapids to have a football team. Tell them to open that capacity, get that capacity closer to 20,000, and I think you would have genuine interest. Because I think you would have a full stadium every single week, and I think that looks great for the league if you can get a rockin' stadium with a lot of
Yeah,
people.
because like, when the Grand Rapids NBA G League transferred affiliation, one of the things that the Denver Nuggets stressed when they acquired the team from the Detroit Pistons is that they wanted to keep the team in Grand Rapids because they saw this area, like the whole Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Holland triangle, as they legitimately saw it as the best minor league market in the United States of America. Yeah, so if we could somehow like build a stadium that could attract a UFL team, that'd be great. And so far, um, and the funny thing is, we actually have a pretty good track record of having our stadiums completely privately funded.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance, but I think at minimum you're gonna need at least 17,000 with a potential ability to extend the seating capacity. Because
Yeah.
that's like if you like, it's gonna look really good if you can have a 20,000 seat capacity stadium, have it full of fans. It is a good sight. I think it's psychological interest. I think the thing that really will carry this league is the TV numbers, and the TV numbers I'm looking for is at least 850,000 people. Because if you can have that
Right.
many people interested in football on TV, and that is your average, I think you will have enough to keep it going.
React, do you think Grand Rapids will ever get a UFL team?
Like this video if you're agree.
Well, I mean, he agrees, I think.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that as an endorsement.
yeah, that's an endorsement. That's an interesting endorsement. Yeah, that's
But
yeah.
yeah, what else is going on? Hockey
Oh yeah,
season.
let's talk about this is the sixth or seventh time you've had to mention about the Toronto Maple Leafs this year.
I'm
Is
sorry.
it
Did you
my
say
fault?
6'7"? Did you say 6'7"?
I did. Is it my fault that every year we have to talk about the I don't want to talk about the Maple Leafs.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't.
part of it is that the Canadian hockey media just loves talking about the Leafs.
But
Like
like
they
they
talk
do,
about
like
the
you can't look
they
at me in the eye and say, you know, you're right, Luke. There's been a lot of headlines coming out of the Toronto Maple Leafs this year, and a lot of them just aren't positive.
yeah. I mean a lot of it is like the the Toronto Maple Leafs are to the Canadian NHL landscape what the Dallas Cowboys are to the NFL media
Yeah,
landscape.
but at least the the Cowboys do have a lot of headlines that are somewhat negative, positive. But like the fact that what I saw yesterday isn't bad that this year that I'm just not outraged this year. I'm not even slightly outraged or remotely outraged.
Well, I mean, part of it is that, you care as much as the team around Austin Matthews. I
Okay.
I think I know it's so cringe of me to keep referencing Steve Dangle. It's like oh my god, quit just quoting the guy. Come up with your own opinions. Shut up. He has good opinions about the Leafs.
He's
As
right. Like
he
this
says,
this
I'm so sick. He says, I'm so sick and tired of having to care about this team more than the players on the ice.
they've been skating for a paycheck all this year, and I'm not even surprised. Matthews goes down, he gets injured, and the thing happens because the team doesn't step up to fight to go after him at all. They just skate away, and like there's like in hockey there is significant, when I mean significant, I mean there is significant, there are significant things, like the captain has great significance in the sport of hockey, right? You are the captain. You are the heart and soul. You are somebody that if somebody breathes air on you, you're gonna fucking beat the shit out of them. Cause that's the culture of hockey. Does that happen? No. No, it doesn't happen at all. No. They don't skate around to protect him. They what? They won the game. Whoop de fucking do. I could care less. You won a game of hockey. Plan the parade. We snapped the losing streak, guys. People on the internet can no longer say, "Hey, the Seahawks have won a game more recently than the fucking Maple Leafs." Yay!
You know that one gif of that kid who like won the spelling bee and had absolutely zero reaction? That's
Mm,
what the Leafs feel like.
yeah. I've stopped caring about this team. I've never thought a team could take away my heart and soul, my passion for cheering for this team. I mean, Matthew's out for the season. At bare minimum, and I love Steve Bangle's response to the Ducks. We play him again on the 30th, and we will send him back in body bags. Because they're gonna have the body bags are just gonna be nothing but ice because we fucking destroyed their bodies with hard hits and retaliation. Like I fully expect that. Realistically, they're gonna call somebody up from the minor leagues who's the toughest fighter. His assignment is to get into a fight with Racco Gudis right away. He fights Racco Gudis. They go to the penalty box. They play the game. Whoopee. That's what's probably going to happen, right, guys? They're probably going to do that's what's gonna happen. Nothing ever happens.
Dude,
Instead, here's my suggestion. Instead, what it should be is we take one of their guys out and we injure him for the season. That's what happens. Look at the Panthers. Like, there's a good point. Look at the Panthers and Lightning. Do you know that when what's his face? He injured one of the Florida Panthers players. The Panthers next Panthers game, they retaliated. Next game, they went after him again. And then even in the following game, the Lightning toughened up and they went after the Panthers. Like, hockey is the
you
grit
know
is coming back.
You
Like,
know what's damning about it? You know
what?
what's damning about it? Minnesota pretty recently played a game against Utah. And one of their new acquisitions, Bobby Brink, a bottom six right winger, got injured on a cheap play by Utah. They showed more fight for Bobby Brink than the Leafs did for Matthews.
Mm-hmm. Like when I say this, the toughness in hockey is back. Like it was gone for a little bit. It was gone for a little bit, right?
Yeah,
The toughness is back. It is back. You cannot breathe oxygen on somebody and think you can get away with it, right?
yeah,
The toughness is back, the grit is back. It's still it's a game that's getting faster and more focused on skills and whatnot, but the grit of hockey is back.
yeah. That's why I think what I that's why I really liked what Garen did around the deadline because he saw where the game was going and he decided, okay, I can't have it to where the bottom six is just other fast players. I need to have grit and sandpaper on these two lines.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he got guys like Bobby Brink and Nick Foligno and Jeff Petrie. Not necessarily because Jeff Petrie still has any gas in the tank, but because he can teach his guys to fight.
I think and the hockey's just gonna get better. Like the playoffs are gonna be absolute cinema. They just gotta fix the format to go back to 1v8. The top two teams that
Um,
win their the divisions, they get into it, and then the rest you
I
just have it fill up as is, which is completely fine
and
because
of
then
course,
the Wild would be then facing the Oilers in the first round, I think, or
let
it's
me
that or
let
the
me
Golden
back
Knights.
let me back that up. Back your statement up real quick. Um, because I don't want you talking out of your ass. Let's see.
I'm kind of talking out of my ass with this one. To be fair, I am not. I have not looked at. I think it's either the Knights or the Oilers.
It would be the Mammoth, and it would be the Mammoth in fifth. Actually, we'd probably be playing either Utah or Vegas. Probably Utah would get the tiebreaker for fifth seed because they have more wins um than the
Oh shit! Yeah, I haven't. I have not. Holy shit! Utah would be fifth. And what the fuck is this garbage? Pacific is so garbage. Oh my
It's so hilarious.
god!
It's truly hilarious. Oh, and by the way, the Oilers lost in overtime to the Blues tonight, so
uh yeah, it's yeah, right now it's looking like the
Dude.
oh my god, Nashville still has a chance to make
Dude,
the
Nashville's in
playoffs?
a wild
What
card
the
spot,
fuck?
man. Do you know you're either in the top 10 for a draft position or you're in a playoff spot? That's
Yeah,
how bad it is. Like if you
because
like look,
let me rattle off what the West looks like. At the top you have Colorado with 97 points. Then you have the Dallas Stars at 92 points. Then you have Minnesota at 88. Then you have the Anaheim Ducks at 75. At 74 with 34 wins is the Utah Mammoth. Then Vegas with 74 points but 30 wins. Uh, that's Vegas. Then at 73 wins at 73 you have the Oilers. They currently occupy the third spot in the Pacific. Uh, whereas the Mammoth have the first wild card spot. The second wild card spot currently belongs to the LA Kings with 69 points. And then at 68 points, 1 point right behind them, it's the San Jose Sharks. And then both at 67 points. You got the Seattle Kraken and the Nashville Predators. But the thing is, Seattle has a game in hand.
They seem
And
sure
then
as shit ain't
It
doing anything
is
about it.
insane. It is insane that as of right now, the Blues have an actual shot at getting in. What are we doing?
You know Nick, do you know what else the crazy response is that every team in the Eastern Conference would be in the hunt except for the New York Rangers. Every team in the Eastern Conference.
oh, Rangers. Oh, you poor thing.
Hey guys, the Rangers are on a 3-game winning streak. Don't look now. The Rangers are on a 3-game winning streak. Ever
my
since
If they were in the West, they'd be in the playoff contention right now. It's crazy.
ever since JT Miller went on IR, the Rangers have won 3 in a row.
That's the stupidest. The stupidest thing about the Austin Matthews injury is that the Leafs are probably going to play better now that he's on the bench.
I think though it's gonna be too hard to tell because we'll see what happens. But
I'm
I
sorry,
do hope
but
Leafs...
the Leafs always do this when
Yeah,
Matthews is
fair.
hurt. Matthews
That's
gets
fair.
hurt and they play better. Why? Why do they play better when Matthews is off the ice? Matthews is a good player.
We'll see what happens. They might win their initial games, but like I don't think I don't think it's going to be really there purely because I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Meanwhile,
we'll see. We'll see. I think.
Meanwhile, I'm one of those weird freaks who thinks division should be 8-4s instead of 4-8s.
No, it's a skill issue. Win your games. Because if I had to deal with that as a Maple Leafs fan, many years in the Eastern Conference, where
that's a skill. See, that's a skill issue.
You're
Quit
right,
being a
but
Leafs
we dealt with
fan.
that. We've dealt with that where
Quit being a Leafs fan. That's your skill issue.
We were the 4th or 5th best team in the NHL, 3rd in the Atlantic. It did not matter.
That's what a lot of That's how a lot of that's like how a lot of parents justify traumatizing their kids. Well, I had to go through that trauma, so clearly, I gotta spank my children. I gotta teach them the switch method.
I will do this. I'm gonna do it. You wanna know why? Because skill issue. Win your games. I am so serious.
I thought you were unironically talking about spanking your kids and shit.
It's the only reason why. If I have to suffer, you have to suffer. If I couldn't have it any easier, then you couldn't have it any easier.
Honestly, I think that's bullshit. I think you're being bullshit.
I mean, keep in mind, I'm only like this with. Well, I mean, I do say skill issue with other things, but especially when it comes to hockey. Dear Lord, the first series with the Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning has done irreparable damage because that ending just pissed me off so much.
To me, it's less about having a logjam at the top of the central, and more because my brain has been poisoned by years and years of NFL fandom where you have 4-8s and you have significantly deeper rivalries with 4 teams in a division than in 8. Because can I be totally honest with you? I can't spread my I can't spread my hate thin enough to really care about all 8 teams in the Central at once.
Yeah, I see that. I think most hatred. I think when you're looking at hockey with hatred, it comes with playoffs. It comes in the playoffs. Because I hate the Blackhawks. Like the Canucks and Blackhawks have a huge rivalry. A lot of again, Minnesota Wild, Dallas Stars. That will always be a huge rivalry.
That's more than the playoffs. That's also because
But
of
it did see even regular
the
season
thing.
Canucks and Blackhawks huge rivalry in the Sedin era. Like most rivalries come from years in the playoffs. Like they're like I don't think you could replace anything that's like the original six. But
Yeah, I think
rivalries are formed in the playoffs. Like there's no rivalry between like the Kraken and the Canucks yet. There's no rivalry. Like the only rivalry the Kraken would have is versus the Golden Knights because it's expansion team. There's no real rivalries in the NHL right now because I think most rivalries is when you face each other in the playoffs because
yeah,
you
I
know
think
Lord Stanley's on the horizon, and if you have like there's a good rivalry between the Canes and the, well, not really because you know daddies
mhm.
and stuff.
Yeah, I think I legitimately think Stars Wild is like the one exception to that rule because it has to do with general NHL politics
Mm-hmm.
instead of purely the playoffs. Um
That's. I mean, I really hope that there's rivalries that develop, but like NHL and rivalries, it's. I think a lot of it just it's just the rivalry thing is just isn't there. Even when before, there it's there, but like it's also not there at the same
like
time.
I'm surprised there wasn't a bigger rivalry between the Jets and the Coyotes when that existed.
Yeah, no, I don't see how rivalry there would exist.
Well, it'd be sort of the same thing as Stars Wild. Like, the Jets look at the Coyotes and are like, "You took the team away from me, you dirty son of a bitch," and the Coyotes are just like, "Yeah, well, we expanded. Get over it, you salty boomer."
That's kind of just like so old, you know. I also don't think that the Coyotes were able to establish a big enough fan base for a rivalry to form.
I will say this though, in terms of rivalries, in terms of the Golden Knights, we have a I'd say we have a pretty good rivalry between us and the Stars. Like the Knights and Stars got like a pretty heated rivalry over the
Yep,
years with how many times we've met in the playoffs.
I can agree to that. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I absolutely agree to that. Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate that you probably hate the Stars almost as much as I do. Um,
True.
You just
and anybody on the fuck Norm Green bandwagon is more than welcome, in my opinion. Uh,
Hell yeah.
And I think
uh,
something that is going to help is hockey's getting way more physical. Way more physical, way more violent. I think that is going to spark a lot of rivalries because the Panthers and Lightning, oh my god. People are
you want to
going
know?
to die, man.
You know what's you know what's I just realized something funny. You know, the Ducks lead the Pacific Division with a negative point differential.
Hmm.
That shouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise
200,
me, honestly.
219 goals for, 228 goals against,
That doesn't
for a negative
surprise.
9 differential. Uh,
It doesn't surprise me, but yeah, there's rivalries. I think the word rivalry in NHL is gonna come back because I think the grit is coming.
yeah,
It's like working its way back.
I mean, as an outsider, I always felt like most of the Golden Knights rivalries were like everybody in California just fucking hates Vegas.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fair.
Which to be f- which to be fair, I think that is actually really fair because Vegas hates Californians. So yeah, we hate Californians. So you know what? All is fair.
Yeah, I think I think it's just a thing of like mutual hatred to one another. Um,
Yes, especially when it comes to their drivers.
yeah,
I
and sort
think
of the
that's
same.
just a natural thing. I do hate California drivers. I hate dude,
And
Tesla drivers are on the top of my shit. Honest to God, Tesla drivers are on the top of my shit list, dude.
yeah,
I don't.
Oh yeah.
and of course up in the
I
north.
Oh, they're either like fucking going stupidly fast on the highways or pissing me off slow.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like the other uh a bit further up north. I feel like all the teams up there are just like, God damn it, Oilers. You know, like the Canucks, the
Oh yeah, Canucks
Flames,
Oilers,
and the
Canucks Oilers, Oilers Flames. Little bit
Oilers
between the
Oilers.
Canucks and the Flames, not as much as you would assume. But yeah, Flames, and it's more of when a rivalry is like ultra hate is something where there's something to hate about. I think there has to be some big fights in the season, big
Of
checks
course
to
to
happen, and it's gonna bounce from team to team.
of
I don't
course
think
to me, like the gold standard of rivalries will always be Red Wings Avalanche. Like that will always be the gold standard for a hockey rivalry.
I think the gold standard is shifted. The gold
Um
standard for me right now in terms of rivalry it's Lightning Panthers.
I mean,
They hate each
for
other.
you, for you that may be it, but like to me though, those '90s Avalanche Red Wings uh matchups will never leave my brain because that's what I grew up with. That's where I'm from. A part of me still loves seeing Patrick Waugh get beat up by the Detroit goalie and Darren Norris sliding in to beat the shit out of Foot.
Yeah.
uh, and that part is called being from Michigan, uh, which is why I occasionally pop into the server and scream, "I'm larking it! Oh God, I'm larking it so good!" Because Dylan Larkin.
hmm
Yeah.
I do
Uh,
think there
I
needs to
will
be an
say,
East, like two East teams, so we could have the Detroit Red Wings move back to the West, because I think there's more rivalries with Detroit in the West than there is in the East.
yeah,
yeah,
I one of the four team divisions I envisioned um is definitely Minnesota Wild, Chicago Blackhawks, Detroit Red Wings, Winnipeg Jets.
hmm
yeah, it's really a shame considering the history those two teams had against one another that the Red Wings Blackhawks rivalry just like isn't a isn't really a thing anymore because I remember that playoff series between them and the 2013 playoffs. It was a brutal, very brutal playoff series between those two.
It is.
Another one I remember being really heated is Red Wings Blues. That was another big rivalry.
Yeah.
Uh, well, what were some? Yeah, I feel like two teams that should just swap conferences. Put Detroit in the West and put Nashville in the East.
hmm I think Nashville has anything with anybody right now.
Yeah, I think their biggest I think their biggest rivalry right now is with winning.
That's fair, but they're rebuilding. They're rebuilding. They're excused.
Yeah, I still think they're rebuilding and yet they're still in the playoff hunt. What is this
I
conference?
know, man. I know, right? That's good. That's like the best joke. That's like honestly the best fucking joke that's told right now. For honest to God, the
They
best
had
joke is this was.
they had one of the most brutal deadlines, and they're still like only 2 points away from tying the Kings for a spot.
I mean, what's gonna happen? Who knows? But
Oh
yeah.
my God! Wait a second. They'd have tiebreakers over game. They'd have tiebreaker over games one. Oh my God!
Mm. Yeah. Crazy what happens. Anyways, I think it's gonna do it for me today, fellas. I don't know about you, kings.
Yeah, I think when the Luke calls it, he calls it for all of us.
You know what? Honestly,
I think it is time.
we talked about more stuff than I initially thought we were.
Yeah, for a stream called "We Give Up," we actually did quite a lot. React, but how do you feel about this stream
Chat,
where
is
we were
this real?
supposed to?
Oh, hold
Yeah,
up.
I'm surprised too.
Yeah, I thought we were probably gonna go for an hour, call it. I honestly thought this was gonna be Skyrim.
I legitimately thought we were gonna have to bust out the Jeep Barbie.
Yeah. But you know what? Good shit, fellas.
Good stream.
Shit.
Good stream.
Yeah, good stream. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow Skyrim, and I don't know what anybody else is doing. But if
Yeah.
they do tell me, I will tell you about it, and I will tell you to go watch what they're doing.
Yeah, and I will tell you to go fuck yourself and drink energy drink. They're not sponsoring us. I just wanted to tell you to go fuck yourself.
Specifically, can we have Rockstar? I just want the green apple flavor. Don't I don't want to sponsor. I only want to sponsor green apple.
Well,
I'm happy I found some the other day because this is the only.
Mountain Dew, please bring back Major Melon. I'd suck your cocks if it meant bringing back
Major
Major
Melon's
Melon.
good. Major Melon's good. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you guys so much for Skyrim tomorrow, Skyrim Thursday.
Skyrim forever, baby.
I think we're gonna. Hopefully, I don't have any issues. I ran into so many free. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if it's fucking Windows fucking it up, but because I think Thomas he runs everything on Linux because he's like he knows his
Because he's a programmer. He's a developer.
Yeah. Really good at what he's really good at what he would know it insides and out. Where it's like Linux, it's if you don't know anything about anything beginning with computers, it is it's hard. But yeah, hopefully there's no issues tomorrow because I hate to cancel this because like we're 2 months into this. I want to keep going. This is actually a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with this mod pack, and yeah, it's been a fun way to play Skyrim. But anyways, we'll see. I'm gonna do the Untitled Lease project, but I'm waiting for the draft lottery. And more importantly, where the Leafs are gonna finish. I'm hoping that they finish either 4th or 5th in terms of drafting, and then they get booted out because 2 teams pass them would be such a Toronto thing. It would so happen. So I'm waiting for that to be the last fuck you, or the Leafs somehow win out, and who knows? Who's that happen? As long as we don't get
Wait a
Boston
second. Oh my god.
the 6th or
Hang on
7th
a
pick in the
second.
draft because
Oh my god. 6, 7!
6,
6,
7.
7!
I want the
Oh my
Leafs
god,
to at
what's that?
least.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I want the Leafs to be out of the top 10 or